A Boulder business owner accused of faking break-ins at her business, what investigators say she was trying to accomplish.
Colorado lawmakers are working to close a $1 billion budget gap this morning. The proposals that could impact health care and tuition.
A new center in Summit County bringing food, clothing, and mental health services all under one roof. And it comes as more families in the mountains struggle with the high cost of living.
First, let's take a live look outside right now where some much needed moisture is coming into the state. The mountains are getting some snow. Meanwhile, the metro area has a chance to see some showers almost each day this week. Fingers crossed. We're all hoping for it. Thanks for joining us. I'm Corey Rose.
And I'm Drew Carney, sitting alongside Brianna Fernandez, who's going to take us out to the roads to see how traffic's doing this hour. I don't know, this is the hand signal. I don't have a hand signal for weather.
Look up in the sky. The clouds are out this morning. Happy Tuesday to you. It's going to be the chance for showers, as you mentioned, each day this week. A better chance on certain days, and today is just a slight possibility. So I'll break down Futurecast, what we're looking at, building cloud coverage, but daytime highs today, pretty pleasant. Low 70s expected. Now, this morning, it is a touch colder. We're right now sitting at 26 degrees only out of the airport, upper 30s in our backyard. Partly to mostly cloudy skies through mid-morning, and then a little more sunshine set to return this afternoon. Out the door, though, you'll definitely want to have the layers on. It is only 25 degrees in Keensburg. We're looking at low 30s from Castle Rock, Elizabeth, up into Fort Collins and Greeley. A chill in the air on this April 7th. Now, the wind's relatively calm this morning. We have seen some gustier conditions up over our mountain passes. We will be watching the chance for a few brief snow showers into portions of the high country. Best chance for any precipitation really over southern Colorado, but today we still have the chance of seeing a sprinkle, a light shower roll through, a gusty wind as we get into the afternoon, but overall a pretty nice spring day with low 70s into much of the metro area and across the plains. Here's 2 o'clock. Over the I-70 drive, north, sunshine. South into Colorado Springs, into Highlands Ranch, Parker could see a few sprinkles roll through, but really no notable, measurable precipitation, which we do desperately need. We are looking ahead to the end of the week, Thursday into Friday. Another system will bring us a better possibility. Overall, this evening, temperatures on the mild side, and we're back to the 70s for Wednesday. I'll break down the Futurecast because we will be seeing more widespread coverage in terms of the chance for some snow in the high country, rain across the plains. But in the meantime, Brianna, how are things looking on the roads?
Right now, Sky 9 over I-25 and 270. It looks like we have crews there on scene. It's unclear they're working on something over the 270 bridge. But right now, we are not tracking any crashes in this area. I do want to switch things over to our CDOT cameras. For anyone taking southbound I-25 at Thornton Parkway, you were probably stuck in a little bit of a slowdown in this area, and you're seeing it still right now from our CDOT cameras. And that's because there was a minor 2-car crash. We are seeing delays for anyone heading southbound this morning from 84th Avenue, Thornton Parkway into 104th Avenue as well, so the North Glen Federal Heights area. I want to get to your drive times, especially along that stretch where we are seeing that slowdown. Really across the metro area, we have the green light except for this area. So southbound I-25 from 144th down to 76th, you're looking at an 11-minute drive. Just keep in mind after 104th Avenue is where you're going to see that slowdown.
I want to thank you. Right now, the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office needs your help to identify this suspect for vandalizing a car at Red Rocks. Surveillance video caught the man on March 1st using a tool to scratch another vehicle. Officials say the suspect was driving a white Jeep Wrangler with no doors, a black push bumper, and a temporary Colorado plate. You saw the car there. You see the man here. If you recognize the person or the vehicle, you're asked to call the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office.
The work to find the remains of Native children who died at a government boarding school in Colorado more than a century ago has been going on now for years, and it's proved to be extremely difficult. For decades, Native children in Colorado and around the country were taken from their families and sent to boarding schools as part of forced assimilation programs. It's not clear just how many children never left the Teller Institute, formerly known as the Grand Junction Indian School. The director of Tribal Indigenous Engagement at History Colorado says they've searched for these children for years. Now they're asking for the community's help, sharing stories, documents, anything they say that may make a difference.
The school itself closed in 1910, so we're talking about time that's probably a couple generations back in knowledge, but those who lived in the area probably were aware, and we're hoping to be able to kind of pinpoint that direction.
He also told us until they find these children's remains, tribal communities and families aren't able to move forward, and they're not able to heal. For anyone who may have old records or family history to share, there's a community gathering happening in Grand Junction coming up on April 21st.
A Colorado grand jury indictment is accusing the owner of a dance studio in Boulder of staging break-ins at her business in order to pocket insurance payouts. The indictment accuses 50-year-old Cindy Burdine of setting up the break-ins at Frequency Dance, then named Kinesis Dance, in April and July of 2023. There is ring surveillance video of the July break-in, which you're seeing here. The indictment claims that Burdine hired two men to pose as burglars for the security camera. According to the indictment, Burdine claimed the April burglary caused her studios to lose business because she was forced to cancel classes and performances. She then filed claims to her insurance, which paid her out more than $550,000 for both of those incidents. Burdine is facing several charges, including theft and insurance fraud.
This morning, thousands of workers at the JBS beef processing plant in Greeley are returning to their jobs, but some are going back disappointed. 9 News reporter Courtney Yoon joins us live here in the studio. Courtney, the strike is ending, but there's still no deal in place.
Yes, that's right, Drew. The strike lasted 3 weeks with 3,800 workers walking off the job. Now it's ending with negotiations scheduled to resume later this week, but some workers expressed confusion about the abrupt end to the strike. For weeks, JBS says it has put forward an offer that includes higher pay, a pension, and benefits, but the union, UFCW Local 7, says it's not enough, especially with the rising cost of living and ongoing safety concerns inside the plant. Union President Kim Cordova says the strike is ending because JBS agreed to negotiate with them on Thursday and Friday. She says it's a win for workers, showing the power of the strike. One worker we spoke with, Jonathan Fausto, says he isn't so sure.
I just would like for Kim Cordova to give us an explanation about all this, because I just don't think it's fair. Like, what were the last 3 weeks for, you know? Like, what did we just strike for these past 3 weeks?
The largest food producer in the world is experiencing extreme disruption at this plant because of this labor dispute. And JBS has an opportunity to do the right thing and settle this agreement now.
Cordova says it's possible the strike could resume again. JBS says it's offering the same deal it's made to workers across the country, and its final offer remains unchanged as operations prepare to resume. In the studio, Courtney Yoon, 9 News.
Courtney, thank you. Meanwhile, all 5 schools in the Sheridan School District in Arapahoe County will be open today, even as teachers continue their strike. Last week, all schools were shut down for 3 days after nearly 100 teachers and other employees started picketing. Yesterday, the district opened 4 out of the 5 schools, excluding only Sheridan High, but now it says it will be able to open all 5 of them. Educators have been working without a contract since August. The union and district went back to the bargaining table over the weekend, but they haven't come to an agreement.
Colorado state legislators have known for months at this point that the state's budget is $1.5 billion short. This week, the plan is to make some serious cuts. The largest cuts will be to Medicaid. That's the biggest portion of state spending. The current proposal is a 2% cut to reimbursements for most Medicaid providers. It would also put caps on some disability services and new limits on the state's Medicaid equivalent program for pregnant women and children who don't have permanent legal residency. State employees would also no longer get an expected 3% cost of living increase, and state colleges could increase tuition up to 5%. The House will start debating the budget tomorrow before sending it to the Senate. And the state budget is still on track to grow next year, so there could be more cuts in the future.
Colorado Parks and Wildlife is proposing an increase in hunting licenses in response to the rising elk population. CPW says biologists saw elk in the Bears Ears and White Rivers areas of northwestern Colorado. This is the first time the animal has returned to its target population size since the severe winter season of 2022 and 2023. The agency says that winter reduced the elk population by half in some areas. CPW says it will present its proposal to the Parks and Wildlife Commission in May.
People in Georgia are heading to the polls today to vote on who will replace Marjorie Taylor Greene in Congress. The special election comes after Greene stepped down from her position last year. Greene was once one of President Trump's strongest supporters, but then she resigned her seat and later became a fierce Trump critic. Now, Democrat Sean Harris is running against Republican Clay Fuller to fill the seat. Harris is a retired Army general. Fuller is a district attorney who has President Trump's endorsement. The winner will serve the rest of the term and could have an impact in Washington, where Republicans currently hold a narrow majority in the House. Katie?
Well, when we talk about the chance for showers today and tomorrow, really not any notable precipitation we're tracking. Just a few raindrops possible. Most areas will stay dry, but by the end of the week, a better possibility of seeing some much needed rain, snow for higher terrain. Not a lot of snow accumulation. I don't love seeing this map and showing you guys, but still severe drought here in Denver and worsening drought, extreme to exceptional for a lot of western Colorado. Watching for tomorrow, we do have, again, the slight chance of seeing a few brief, widely scattered isolated showers, but a better possibility. You can see Thursday over the I-70 drive here in Denver will clear out briefly heading into Friday morning. Afternoon rain showers and a little more widespread coverage, Brianna, for the end of the week.
Katie, thank you so much. Sky 9 right now giving us a live look for your Tuesday morning commute. 6:09 is your time, so getting you out the door with a live look of I-25, so between 144th and I-76. No issues to report this morning. Where you're going to start to notice slowdowns, it's in the North Glen area, so just after 104th Avenue, and that's because earlier this morning we had a minor crash. It was a two-car crash. It looks like they already cleared up, so just keep that in mind, especially if that's part of your morning drive and you're heading southbound this morning.